Quicksilver, Eddie Aikau, Big Wave Invitational went down at Waimea Bay. We're having an amazing El Nino winter, but Quicksilver waded through a lot of the big swells. They waded right to the end of the window, and they got the best big swell of all time. The exact conditions they were looking for, 20 to 30-foot waves with cleanup sets coming through. The crowd was arriving here in the pre-dawn, and all you could hear was the roar of the surf.
Mega Waimea. Awesome.
Another one, ladies and gentlemen, look at this set.
Clyde Aikau, brother of Eddie Aikau, showed up at 66 years old and paddled out into this massive day at Waimea Bay and got some epic waves. He wanted to keep the spirit of his brother alive. The judging criteria was simple. The judges were looking for commitment, size of wave, and completion of the ride. John Florence. Well, oh my God, he put on a show. He followed the criteria. He went deep. He took off on the big waves that were steep, and he made it. The white waters exploded, and he finished the rides. John is an amazing athlete. He's excellent in small waves, big waves, pipeline tubes around the world. Watch for John to be a world champion next year and probably several years after that. He is amazing in all conditions. Congratulations, John, for winning. I watched the strategies of some of the best surfers out here. Kelly Slater, a former winner, he kind of stayed on the end, played a little more conservative. Almost every wave he took off on, he was able to complete the ride and getting good scores. I had the honor of surfing in one Eddie back in '99, and it wasn't as big as this Eddie, but to sit on that boil deep on the pit and take off when those sets come in takes a lot of courage. And there was one wave, I was right on the right spot. It was a 25-footer. I looked down over the ledge and I pulled back thinking maybe there's one behind. I let that one go, and I never will forget that. It haunts me to this day. I did get my best wave right after the horn blew. I got a 25-footer, rode it all the way in, but the contest was over. It didn't count. They are wearing flotation and inflation vests, which helps with the safety factor. That's something I didn't have in my day, trying to charge big ones.
Yeah, there's some big ones for sure. It's exciting out there. Surfed out there with Brock a couple times where it was totally closed out. Yeah. It's kind of exciting though when it's like that, when it's that big size. Just having the opportunity to go on a really big one out there doesn't come very often, you know.
Yeah.
It might come every 10 years.
Yeah.
If I had to pick one guy that I thought stood out as the charger of the day, that award would go to Mason Ho. Mason Ho was charging all day long, catching some of the biggest waves of the day and some of the heaviest wipeouts of all time. Wipeouts. Don't get me started on wipeouts. I saw some of the heaviest big wave wipeouts I've ever seen. Guys were charging. Mason Ho and Nathan Fletcher, Grant Twiggy Baker jump over the falls. Jamie O'Brien rode some of the biggest bombs of the day and didn't get scores to match that. I predicted Mark Healy would win this year's event because I've seen him out here. He goes right, he goes left here, he'll pull in the tube. I expected more from Healy, but looking at my pictures, he paddled for some insane waves. Had he gone on, they could have made the difference. Ross Clark-Jones has no fear in big waves. He went out there and got some bombs and nearly won it. Ross Clark-Jones would have been this year's winner if it weren't for John. John went out there in that second heat and got the scores he needed. Eddie went this year, and I can hardly wait to see the next one. It was an epic show.